All right, hello grade 7. I'm going to just give you a little tutorial on how to do the steps for 12.1, which you're working on today. So we're looking at experimental probability in this one. So we're gonna use a spinner. I've put a link to wheelofnames.com, and you can create your own spinner there. And then we're going to do steps A to H, and then you'll be submitting the reflecting questions to a different Dropbox for marking. Okay, so we're going to skip this page. We don't need any of those spinners. But if I go over here and show you on Safari, if you just go to wheelofnames.com, and instead of putting names in, you just put in hit, no hit, no hit. And we'll read the instructions here to understand what that means. And then if you press it, it's going to spin, and it will randomly give you results. Okay, so just make sure when it does give you a result that you hit close and not remove anything, because you don't want to remove them, you just want to close it up. So let's go back to the lesson. So here it is. It says last year Omar played 20 baseball games. He was up to bat 3 times per game. On average, he gets a hit once in these 3 times per game. So that's why the spinner is set up with 1 hit and 2 no hits, getting a hit 1 time out of 3. Okay, so what is the probability that Omar will get 2 hits in 1 game? So step A, do an experiment with a spinner like this. Each trial of 3 spins represents Omar's 3 at-bats per game. Copy the following table and record the results of each at-bat for 20 trials. All right, so if you look at some of the other attachments on Schoology, I have made life really easy for you and created a spreadsheet that has these charts that you need. So here's the spreadsheet for step A. You notice it has step A, step B, step E, and step F at the top. So those are all the steps you need charts for. Okay, so we need to do 20 trials, which is what step A said. And for each trial, we need to do 3 at-bats. So we're going to go back to my spinner, and I'm going to spin it. And I'm going to see if he gets a hit or a no hit. All right, and it's looking like a no hit. Okay, so I'm going to close this. I'm going to go back to my chart, and those of you that are better at doing this with split screens, you can do that with a split screen. So the first at bat is, how do I get to letters here? Here we go. Is a no hit. Okay, so now we go back to the spinner again. Second at bat. Let's spin it again. And it looks like he's going to get a hit this time. So I'm going to go to second at bat, and I'm going to put an H in for hit. And now we're going to go to the third at bat. Let's go back to my results, hit close, and spin again. And he's going to get it's going to be close, but I think it's going to be a no hit. Yep, no hit. Okay, so we go back here, and we're going to put an N in for no hit. So that is the first trial. We need to do this 20 times, 3 at-bats for each time. That's step A. So you're going to fill in that whole chart, and then you'll have results to work with for the future steps. Let's go back to the steps. Step B then says copy the following table. One possible outcome for a trial is no hit, no hit, hit. You can write that as NNH. So copy the following table and list all the possible outcomes for your experiment in the outcome column. All right, so I've done that for you already in this numbers file. If we tap on step B, if I just look at my first trial, I've got an NHN. So that's a no hit, hit, no hit. So that would count as a no hit, hit, no hit. That would count in this second last one here. So I would add 1 to that frequency. And you got to fill this all in. You should have 20 trials total to fill in here. So your fraction should be however many times I get for the first one. However many times I get hit, hit, hit out of 20. So my fraction would be whatever that number is out of 20. Then I calculate a decimal and a percent out of that, and I fill in this table. Remember, hit, hit, hit should be a pretty rare occurrence, right? But that's how that table gets filled out. Then we're going to go on to step C. In your experiment, the event you're investigating was Omar getting 2 hits in a game. A favorable outcome then is HHN because it has 2 H's, 2 hits. Circle other favorable outcomes in your table. So of the other 8 favorable outcomes, how many others had 2 hits? Just 2 hits, not 3. There's one that has 3, but we don't count that. Record the frequency of each outcome from your experiment in the frequency column. Then step D, use your results to calculate the probability that Omar will get 2 hits in a game. Experimental probability is calculated using the ratio number of trials in which the investigated event was observed divided by total number of trials in the experiment. So the total number of trials will be 20. How many times did he get 2 hit outcomes out of 20? Okay. Step E, you're going to repeat the experiment again. Do steps B to D again. I've put a chart in there for you. In step F, you're going to combine your results for both. And then in step G, you're going to combine that data and make a comparison. You get to skip step H. We're not going to have you compare to other students. Then you need to answer questions 1, 2, and 3 for reflecting. Make sure you use lots of examples and lots of explanation to get the best possible mark. Make sure you connect to your math meeting with your teacher to get help if you need it. All right, good luck.